Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need, bumper to bumper, for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Miss Joe, Pam, Little Sammy, Stephen, Dylan, and Big Sammy himself. It's Folkestone Auto Supply.
Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics, located at 3885 Main Street in the heart of downtown Folkestone. They're Folkestone's original hometown pharmacy with 49 years serving the community. They have everything you need, including household items, prescription medications, high-tech electronics, and much more. Their experienced and friendly staff in the pharmacy and electronics department are ready to serve you. Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sports. Go Indians!
Good evening and welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. I'm Adam Bell for Charlton Sports, and along with head coach Rich McCorder. Coach, we had Telfair County this past Friday. Good crowd on hand. I think we were talking before the game. It seated somewhere around 3,000. It was almost at capacity. Telfair was a little shy on their side, but I think they were about 50% on their side as well. But great game Friday night.
Yeah, it was a great homecoming crowd, a lot of enthusiasm. It was a game that we knew, of course, really what game isn't almost a must-win for us. It was a great atmosphere. I thought our kids had a good week in preparation for the game, but with kids, like we all know, you don't always know what you're going to get when it's time. But I thought our kids really played a really good football game. These guys don't get much praise, especially from me. But I thought our offensive line did a pretty nice job. Really good protection in the pass game. Didn't have a lot of times where AJ had to really just give up out of the pass and take off running. I thought the offensive line gave him plenty of time for the most part, and we were able to run the ball pretty well, I thought. So, again, good job by the offensive line. And if any of them are seeing this, they're probably shocked that I'm saying it because I tend to be pretty hard on those guys. But just real quick on some of the stats from the game against Telfair. We ran the ball pretty well, I thought. We ran the ball for 18 times for 110 yards. That's a 6.1 average, and for a touchdown, that's a pretty good average per carry. We tend to be a little bit more pass heavy or so, but we attempted 18 runs and we attempted 23 passes. So that's pretty balanced, really. And a lot of times we're going to end up more on the pass side for us. I thought Eric Daniels ran the ball very hard Friday night. He ran the ball 10 times for 79 yards, really tough runs. Thought he did really good job. And like I said, AJ only had 3 attempts to run the ball, which tells me our offensive line gave him plenty of time to throw the ball. Usually he runs more out of necessity than planned. Sometimes it's planned, but a lot of times it's because the protection breaks down and he has to get out of there. In throwing the football, we attempted 23 passes for 17 completions for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's really another great night throwing the football for AJ, and for our receivers had 5 different guys catch the ball. Raekwon had a huge night, catching 10 balls for 160 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Clark had 4 catches for 60 yards, and then we had 3 guys have 1 catch apiece, and that was Eric Daniels, Brentley Sloan, and Devin Snowden. All those guys had a catch. A huge play, pass play to Eric Daniels, back of the end zone, 16-yard play for a touchdown right there. As far as the defense goes, Telfair was a run-heavy team coming in, and they held true to that for 39 attempts running for 130 yards, and they had only 3 yards in average on each play. 1 touchdown there. In a passing game, they completed 8 out of 13 for 71 yards, which again is a pretty good job by our defense. part of the game that when it comes to the stats that you're not real happy about is on the penalties. We had 10. Usually at home you tend to not get as many penalties on the road, but we had 10 penalties for 72 yards. Telfair had 3 for 25 yards. Just way too many penalties all year long. That's been a big story for us. Offensively, we felt like, especially looking at the film from this game, that every series on offense, we were doing what we wanted to do, and we were moving the ball kind of as we wanted until we had a penalty. The penalty knocked us back, and sometimes we were able to overcome that. Other times it resulted in us having to punt the ball away. So as far as first downs, we had 16, and we did give up quite a few first downs, 14 to Telfair, which is a little bit more than what we wanted. 4 for 4, Brantley Sloan, extra points. That was excellent. Really proud of the job he's done in taking over the kicking duties for extra points and field goals. Our leading tackler, Travis Ray, inside linebacker with 9. Outside linebacker, Michael Elliott with 6.5. Both those guys are juniors. Both those guys had a good game for us, we felt like. So overall, after 7 football games, as far as team stats, AJ's got tremendous stats running the football, 414 yards rushing, and as far as passing, 1,486 yards. And the big stat on that is the 65% completion average, which you'll hear people talk in terms of quarterbacks. If a quarterback can complete 60% of his passes, he's doing a great job. Well, we got AJ doing 65%, which is at this point is the highest I think I've ever had a quarterback throw for, 65%. So he's making a lot of really good decisions, and he's taking care of the football, and I'm really proud of him. After 7 games, 3 interceptions, as many times as we've thrown the football, that's really a great job also taking care of the football. So good job for him. Raekwon Anderson leading us in receiving with 39 catches for 516 yards. And then to the defense, as far as team goes, on the defensive side of the ball, Travis Ray, inside linebacker. You'd expect your inside linebackers to do a great job. Travis Ray's leading the team with 43 tackles, doing a great job there for us. Saquon Clark with 3 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. Several guys have at least 2 sacks, and then Travis Ray has 2 fumble recoveries. He's leading the team with that, with a lot of guys having 1. So again, to this point, 6-1 after 7 games. To be completely honest with you, you asked me back early in the year. I thought we were going to be a better football team. I really didn't have a question about that, simply because of the work ethic we got going during the off season, our winter workouts, and what we did in the summer. I felt like we were going to be a better football team. But if you said, looking at the schedule now, because our schedule is tough, look at our schedule, say you're going to be 6-1 going into the next to the last game of the regular season, I would say it'd be a little bit of a surprise, to be quite honest with you.
I know Friday, it was probably, from the fans' perspective, that was probably one of the most physical showings we've seen all season out of our side. Those guys, we were popping.
Yeah, we talk all the times in terms of trying to win the hitting game. Especially high school football, really all levels of football, but especially high school football, it really comes down to just a few things, blocking, tackling, and just being physical in everything you do. And what we talk about with our team is we're always telling them, we want to hang our hat on great effort. And when you have great effort, you're going to have physical play. And we played physical. We flew around, had some really good hits. I think we put enough pressure on their quarterback. We talked a lot about him. A very, very good player, Ian Blankenship. Last time I guess we'll see him. He's a 4-year starter, great player. He's just had an incredible high school football career. But I think that our defense put a lot of pressure on him, either on the backside with coverage or on the front side with our rush. Doing a great job there. Someone I'd like to really mention who I thought had the game of his life, really, was Lance Carter, number 66. Lance Carter's our nose guard, and at some fronts he'll play a 3 or 1 technique, and other fronts. But Lance Carter, he's a junior defensive lineman in the weight room. He's incredible in the weight room. If you've ever seen him up close, he's about as well built as a guy you're going to see. Just loves the weight room. And Lance is really, just really came on these last few weeks. But Friday night, Lance Carter had the best game of a defensive lineman, interior lineman, that we've had in a couple of years, I think. I mean, it's just, I can't say enough about just the way he's come on, the way he's played. But a lot of our defensive success in the run game is because of Lance, the job he's done. Just a super job by him.
Well, they're doing a fantastic job on the defense. Those turnovers and all you were showing a while ago we had up on the screen, that, I don't have it in front of me, but that's almost double or triple what we had last year on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, defensively we're stronger. We're still not a big defense, and that's nothing we can do anything about. We don't have a lot of tall guys and don't have a lot of tremendous speed on defense like we've had in the past. But right now our guys are playing very, very hard. I think our defensive coaches, David Pender, Gabe Wittenberg, and Coach Norris Woods, those three guys on defense, I think, are doing a tremendous job breaking our opponents down and putting our kids in the right position to make plays. And just the things you hear them say to the kids as far as coaching and technique and being in a good position to make plays, I think it's really spot on, the job they're doing. And I think that's a big change than maybe what we had in the past, where I think they're being coached extremely well, they're playing hard. And again, a big thing you'll hear us say, if you were ever in here in pregame or throughout the week with us, you'll hear me always say, hey, listen, guys, we can break all this down to just two words: great effort. Let's have great effort. And as long as we have that, as long as we're not having the coach effort like maybe in the past we had to, we're going to be doing some good things. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have an opportunity to compete in a lot of football games.
That Friday, the atmosphere, I think there was two TV stations here. Homecoming, we crowned a new homecoming queen Friday night. Just the fans, I mean, it was a great atmosphere as always right here home.
Well, it really is, and I think everybody just in this community, in this part of the state, and this part of the country especially, loves high school football. They love their high school football and their college football, and I think everybody just, you can see it on social media, and you can just being around people. You know, if we can just make it to Friday and Saturday, it's almost like every Friday and Saturday in the fall is a holiday. It's football season. And anytime that, you know, we only get 5 home games, we've lost 1 home game because of the hurricane. So this year we're going to have 4 home games. We're hoping to have a playoff home game, and it's looking like that's going to be the case. So we're excited about that. But it's just, you know, I've had so many other coaches tell me when they come to our stadium how nice it looks, how over the years we've done so much improvement, which all that credit goes to the school board and to the booster club. Just things that we've done just around here, and the way we've the school board put money into the visitors locker room. A lot of times you'll go to an away school and they'll stick you in some of the worst facilities, smell, no water, no showers, nothing, just stick you somewhere. And I've always believed it should be the other way around. You need to go ahead, you need to try to create a good atmosphere for the visiting team to use. I don't think they deserve to be in a dump or in a smelly back in the corner room. I think you need to give them good facilities too, and our school board's done that. Air conditioned, heated, showers, bathrooms, the whole thing over there, plenty of room. Really proud of that. Bleachers, we're good with that. Like right now we're in a field house that's really second to none. The only thing I think left we have to do facility-wise right here is maybe upgrade the lights, which hopefully maybe we'll get that done sometime. We're a little behind as far as the lights, a little dark, but again, it's a great atmosphere with the band, the cheerleaders, just the people making this place a great place to play a high school football game. I've had coaches tell me that time and time again that throughout the year, a game in Folkestone and a game here in the Swamp is exciting, the atmosphere, and it's as good a place to play as any. So we'll take that as definitely as a compliment. And we've got a road game this week. then we come home again for senior night. So hopefully we'll have a gigantic crowd this week in Homerville, but then just try to fill the place up for the last regular season game in 2 weeks right here.
Coach, let's dive into the highlights.
Sure.
You ready for that? We got this first one. Actually, it seems like a pattern this year. We score 2 times a drive, it seems like. But this first one is from AJ to Eric.
We have had several drives, several touchdowns called back, it seems like, this year. And that goes right along with the penalties we've had. Right here, it's just a single receiver flood to the left, and just a deep, dig. You'll see the receiver to the left. He's going to drag. He's going to do motion. Then he's going to run the out, the wheel, and we have other routes over here. And then we bring it back for H across the backside and so forth. And a lot. We can talk a lot about how we set this up, but I don't think that'd be a great idea to give everybody all of our secrets. But again, it's a great job by AJ being patient. Great protection on the offensive line. Offensive line did a great job and allowed that play to develop on that one.
All right, this next one is swing pass out to Raquan. He takes it the distance.
This is our bunch set, which we can all of our sets we can do bunch. This is the shallow route. It's a route we run quite a bit.
How about that block right there?
Yeah, it's a great block out there. Can't really see who it was on this one, but it's just a shallow route. We have a lot of combinations off the shallow route. Different. We always have a dig off of it by different guys, but again, we run the shallow out of the bunch, out of the spread, different sets. We'll even run the shallow out of orbit motion or half motion or full motion, bring it back and run the shallow. We also run the shallow with the tight end, the H back, really any of the receivers. It's a play that can go to 5 different people. 5 different people can run that same route and the combinations off of it. So it's almost a whole offense in itself. I've spoken at clinics, and when I get on this particular play, I can be on this one play for an hour, just talking about all the variations we can run off of it, and just AJ does a great job. The offensive line gives it time to develop again. Great job by the offensive line. AJ doesn't even get touched, and just it worked out really good. And of course, Raquan's the kind of athlete, you get him in some space, moving with the football, he can make things like that happen.
This one here, this next one coming up is the pass, the second to the last pass right before halftime to Raquan.
It was, we're running hitches with everybody except we got a double move route called for Raquan, and just it's meant to go. It's meant to go to him all the way, and it's just a tremendous pass. AJ just drops it right in on him, and you watch AJ right here. You'll see him do a pump fake, and he does the pump fake on the first move that Raquan runs. You can't really see the route completely, but you'll see at the bottom of the screen. You can't really see it on this screen, but on ours you can see that Raquan makes the double move and right on AJ's pump, and beautiful timing, gets it away. Great play right before half. It'd be great if he could have kept his feet and went ahead and went in with it on that one, but it's just tremendous throw, great catch by Raquan, and offensive line did a great job blocking also.
All right, this next one. I know AJ, that last pass right before the half, I know he'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, that
this
got.
This next one is Raquan.
Yeah, this is just simple jet. We have great blocking by Devin Snowden. We'll see it again. Great blocking by Devin Snowden, 37. Just really good job right here. By the back, leading around the edge. It's just simple jet. Everybody's running it now. You'll see it on Saturdays, and everybody's doing it. And just again, Saquon runs it really well. Just keeps bringing it out, drawing it out, letting the blocking develop, run away from the defense. Essentially, makes it into the corner right front pylon, which is a great touchdown, good play for us.
And this last one is what Raquan is known for, his punt return skills.
That we've been waiting for a punt return to return. You know, you'll see him fair catch it, and you know, sometimes we wish he wouldn't fair catch it, just take a shot. But really, the smart thing is to fair catch some of these punts. But right here, we have the lead already, 21-7. Think we have the momentum, and he was just going to take a shot, which is what we want him to do: catch a punt and just take it right back up the middle of the field. And we have some good blocks in there, right down our student section down there in the bottom.
Section,
yeah, they're all excited. He took it right back to them, and that's just great atmosphere that we talked about. How everybody's just doing we got the student section going now, the tremendous band, cheerleaders, fans, everything, and just a great atmosphere. And then things like this, just that's a great job by Raquan. But you see a lot of other guys throwing really key blocks. Sustaining their blocks and allowing him to get in the end zone, and just a great play, and that right there really put the thing away.
Coach, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into Swamp War in Clinch County.
Okay.
Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away.
Welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. If you haven't heard, it's Swamp War coming up Friday night. Indians travel over to Clinch County, kickoff 7:30 Friday night.
We're, everybody circles this date on their calendar and looks forward to it. For us, it's always a huge football game. It's a game that always has either region or playoff implications, and this is no different. Right now, I think that Clinch and us just flip spots in the power rankings, which, that happens. It's going to flip again. It's going to flip 2 more times. It's going to move twice again before actually the playoffs start, but we're both closely ranked together. When it comes to that, this will be the 66th meeting between Charlton County and Clinch County. So there's a lot of history here. As far as looking at our program, I don't know, theirs may be a little different than ours, but according to what we have is, it's been 34 wins Charlton County, 30 wins for Clinch County, and 1 tie. But they've had a 2-game win streak here lately, and they've had a fantastic program, great coaches. Coach Jim Dickerson, just a good friend of mine. I think he just does a great job of getting those kids ready to play. And of course, his offensive coordinator, Don Tyson, his dad's a legendary coach, named the stadium after him over there in Clinch County, Don Tyson Jr. I can remember us playing against him when he was in high school, when he was a high school quarterback. And he's the offensive coordinator, and he just does an incredible job with that single wing or Notre Dame box, whatever people call it. It's more like single wing offense that you just don't see anywhere. I don't think anyone else in the state of Georgia that, to my knowledge, is running the offense they're running. A lot of people are running spread. A lot of people run wing T. Some people run the old Georgia Southern option. But to my knowledge, nobody runs the single wing, especially in the fashion they do. The only other team I know of in anywhere is Apopka High School in Orlando. They do it, and they're very successful at it. What really makes it go, and of course, on the defensive side of the ball, they have some tremendous athletes, kids. Coach Dickerson has a great defensive background, but Winston Peterson just does a great job coordinating that defense and always has it ready to go and is always shutting people down. I don't think they've given up more than 21 points to any one team this year, to my knowledge. Clinch County has 2 losses on the season, and that's to Brooks County, who is one of the top AA schools in the state, 17 to 14, and also Irwin County 21-7. Now, in both those games, Tresman Marshall did not play. Tresman Marshall, he'll wear number 7. He's 6'1", 230 pounds. Been offered by Georgia, Ohio State, just anybody in the country that plays Division I football is offered this guy. He's a junior, so we're going to see him for another year. Marshall is he's one of the quarterbacks in the offense. They really run with 2 quarterbacks, a sniffer and a wing, and a lot of athleticism in the backfield. And then they put a 6'4" or they have a 6'4" guy that will line up out there at wide receiver. He'll be tight sometimes, play action, throw it to him. And sometimes they have another kid, number 21, a sophomore, who's 6'7", 200 pounds, and they'll throw it to him sometimes. So tremendous athletes. Number 10, Charles McClellan, 6 foot, 180 pounds. You look, he's the other quarterback, running back kind of guy. So they are loaded with athleticism and college prospects in the offensive backfield. Very difficult to stop them. They're going to run that thing. It's isolation. It's an inside counter. It's off tackle power sweep, and then all of a sudden play action pass with 2 tall guys run down the field wide open. So it's a very difficult offense to stop. There's not a whole bunch to it. But that's really the simplicity of it, is the beauty of it, and that's really smart coaching, I think, on Coach Tyson's part. Is this is what we do? It's your job to stop us. It's our job to execute it, and they do a tremendous job of executing it. They got tons of yards this year going up and down the field, but again, they could have very easily been undefeated playing the toughest schedule in the state. They also play Bleckley County, who's really an upcoming program. They beat them really soundly at the beginning of the season. Just tremendous athleticism. I know we're going to have a lot of people go to the game. When you look down there pregame, you're going to see guys like number 8. Number 8 is he's another Mincy, and we had our Mincies. They got their Mincies. 6'4", 270, defensive end. Tough guy to handle, even if you're playing college football. That's a tough size to handle right there. Number 99 inside, who's just a massive, strong kid, going to be very tough to block. We really believe that our offensive line has to play their very, very best to even have a chance against these guys. In the secondary, they got tremendous athleticism at defensive back. The inside guys, the flat defenders, are really good. You're going to see them base out of a 4-2, but you're going to get a lot of looks, a lot of third down blitzes, and even other down blitzes. So it's going to be a tough thing. Like I said, Jim Dickerson heads that thing up and just does a great job, as good a job as anybody in our region. And his top 2 assistant coaches, Don Tyson Jr. And Winston Peterson, just 2 of the top assistant coaches in the state. Both of them will be head coaches one day somewhere. And I really believe this is going to be a very difficult, very tough football game. It's going to be that atmosphere that you enjoy, though. I mean, it's not a. To me, I think I saw somebody said something. They go, "This has got to be the most stressful week of the year," and I said, "Really, it's quite the opposite." Clinch knows what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do. It's just up to the kids to really go execute, play their very best. And that's all we can ask for, and that's all we've ever asked for from our kids, is just to give us great effort and just give us the very best you got, and we'll just move on with the outcome. So I think there's no question our kids are focused already. I don't want them to get too focused too early. I don't want them to get too excited too early. But I do think this is going to be a game where you're going to see a lot of really hard play, really tough play from both teams. It's going to be one of those games that I think that the effort that's going to be given out by the players is going to be playoff level. So I think it's going to be good for them and us to kind of get up to that level just before playoffs start. I think it can help out both teams. But again, like I said, Coach Dickerson, a good friend of mine, good coach. Clinch County, people have asked in the past, I said, we hate those guys. I said, what do you hate about them? I admire those guys. I said, the way they coach and the way their kids play and the athleticism they have, I really admire the job they do. And again, like us, they have great facilities, good leadership from their community, or great support from their community, and that sort of thing. So it's going to be one of those situations to where it's going to be really a lot of fun. I had one of my players, I forgot which one it is, said, yeah, Coach, they got a couple guys on our team, they're my cousins, and so forth, and there's a lot of that. A lot of our kids know their kids very, very well, are friends with them, and like I said, our coaches know their coaches very well. Their band director used to be an assistant band director over here, so our band knows each other really well. So we compete in basketball, we compete in baseball, softball, one-act play. Wednesday we got the big one-act play.
We have a trend going
on. So we have there's a lot of competition, not just in football with Clinch County, but in other sports. So it's going to be an exciting atmosphere. Look forward, and it's not that far away, which is great. Just go up around the swamp, and we'll get over there, and it'll be an exciting atmosphere, and I look forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun for our kids.
I know this year, Charles McClellan, I know you have 3 players highlighted there, but this game, the good thing about this game is he's a senior. We won't have to see him next year. He's moving on.
Yeah, he's moving on, but I want to tell you, you can look at, of course, everybody can Google everything. You can Google the Max Prep sites for everybody and see their roster, but you just go down their roster. And starting off, at the very top with a sophomore, number 2, Dorsey. He's a 6 foot, 200-pound kid as a sophomore. Then you just go right down and you see 200, 230, 270, 210, 180, 185, 200, 215. That's just the skilled kids. That's just skilled kids. And then you go over.
What are they feeding them over there, Coach?
I don't know. And then you go right over to the second page with the linemen, and now you're looking at 298, 270, 6'2", just big kids over there. And it's like us in the past. We've had a run of just really tall, big kids. And right now we're in a run of not so much tall and not so much big kids. And Clinch County, they're in their run of like I said, defensive end, number 8, 6'4", 270. That's Division I college. I mean, not prospect. That's a guy that you're going to watch on TV on Saturday size already. And then Tresman Marshall. If you go on the 2018 prospect list in the country, you're going to see him up there towards the top in the entire country. So you're going to see a guy, number 7, Marshall, who's going to be playing on Saturdays, and bar injury or anything like that, a kid that has as good a shot as most to even play on Sundays one day. Number 10, Charles McClellan, great football player, fantastic player, and thank goodness he's a senior. And again, he's another kid. I know he has a lot of Division I offers. 180 pounds, 6 foot tall. I think I may be wrong on this, but I know he qualified for state in the 100 meters if he didn't win it. I just heard Coach Pender talking about him in the 100 meters being one of the state's top 100-meter runner. We saw them in track last year, and the 100, the 200, the 4x1. They took all those races. It was Clinch County winning all of them. They got tremendous speed and tremendous athleticism now, and hopefully our athleticism will make that turn in the coming years like them. But on their roster, I think they only have 38 players, and which Clinch County always has a smaller roster. But I want to tell you, there's no shortage of athleticism on that roster.
Last week you described we were headed into the Telfair game, and you described it as a slugfest track meet. How would you describe this one?
Well, at least on their part, it's going to be a slugfest to us, and they can make it a track meet on any play. You watch them on film, and it could be just a 1st and 10, and next thing you know, it's a touchdown. I mean, they have guys that can go 80 yards quick, and they pull away from people. You watch us play, we don't pull away from a lot of people. It seems like we get caught if we don't make it to the end zone first. But these guys right here are the real deal. They're a team that has a great shot to win a state championship this year. It almost seems like every year, the last few years, they've been playing for it or right there. At the beginning of the year, my pick was the state championship game was going to be between Irwin and Clinch. And to be honest with you, from what I've seen, that really hasn't changed that much, although there is some outstanding football teams out there. Manchester is the top-ranked team right now. Commerce, another fantastic football team. ECI, guys like that I think are really, really good. But the teams that in the playoffs that are able to knock off a Clinch County or Irwin County, it's going to be that'd be something special right there, because those two great football teams and two really, really well-coached football teams.
Friday night, I know you don't want to give too much of your game plan away, but when you meet up a team like Clinch County, it's not just as simple as stacking 9 kids in the box. They have to play assignments too.
No, it's really not. Today, Monday's a big install day for us, and I know, Coach Pender was the first thing he was really working on was the play action. It's obvious you got to stop the run. I mean, you're not going to beat Clinch County or even compete with Clinch County unless you stop the run first. But I know Coach Pender really we were doing our installation today, and the looks that we're going to use versus their looks, he would right away talk about the play action game. This is what you got to look at, and you got to key the releases of the end man, the line of scrimmage, and so forth. There's all kinds of stuff like that, which everybody knows, and really that's the same thing every week. Is the defense has full of pre-snap reads and post-snap reads, and they're immediate post-snap reads now on defense. You don't spend long on them, but he worked a lot on that today, and by no question, we've got to stop the run. But you have got to be ready on every down and distance, every situation for play action pass, because what you see against a team that runs the ball like this, you'll see guys run down the middle of the field wide open, because you'll have everybody just coming up to stop the run. You have got to be aware of play action pass also. It's a great offense. I love what we do on offense. I'm a fan of all sorts of offenses. Saturday, I can't get enough of watching Georgia Tech or Air Force or Army or Navy running that triple option the way they run it. I can't get enough of that. And then stay up late to watch somebody like Mike Leach out at Washington State run the true air raid offense. Just big fan of different styles of offenses. Like I said, I love what we do. What we do fits our personnel real well, including our offensive line, everybody we have. I think we're doing exactly what we need to do. But what they do is a lot of fun to watch, fun to break down and see the different things that go on in that running attack. And it's just not, people are going to think, well, it's just run right, run left, run up the middle, play action. It's really so much more to that. There's so much coaching and so much detail that goes into what they do, and it's really a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be very difficult to defend. Nobody's defended it real well yet, except for Irwin County, but again, that was with their best player out. we're going to have to play each and every down as hard as we can to stay with these guys. And I tell you, I know our kids are going to give a great effort. That's all I ask. That's all we want. Give a great effort, and maybe in the fourth quarter we can be around still playing football and have a game at the end. And that'd be a lot of fun, and that would get us in the right direction for the playoffs.
So we need help. We need Charlton County, everybody needs to go over to Clinch County Friday night and fill those visitor stands.
Well, I know they will. I know there's no question. It's even I think there's going to be people from not just Clinch, not just Charlton going to this thing. You'll always hear of people in the surrounding areas say, we got to go to the Clinch Charlton game. Got to go see that thing because we know it's going to be physical, it's going to be fast, and it's always going to be a lot of fun to watch, and a lot of kids that really respect one another and know one another, and they want to compete hard. For 48 minutes, those kids are going to get after each other, and they always have and always will, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be a lot of fun to coach in. Every time we play these guys, it's always a lot of fun to coach in these games, and afterwards, the biggest thing I'll look for is just great effort from our kids. We got that. We'll move on and deal with the rest of it.
I know Friday night against Clinch, there haven't been that many blowouts between the two teams. It's always, for the most part,
there's been
a touchdown.
Yeah, there's been a lot of very, very close football games. I think the last time we were over there, we scored on the opening kickoff. It got brought back. Scored again. It got brought back. Now both of them were our fault. I mean, we did hold on the kickoff. It should have been brought back, and we were lined up illegally. Our inside receiver walked up too far, filling in the gap as a slot receiver, and that touchdown was called back. Both of them was our fault, but it's still, I think it was a 14-7 football game forever in that game, and I know our kids played just tremendously hard, and I know after that game I was just really proud of the way our kids competed. Everybody's all consumed with wins, and you got to win, you got to do this, you got to do that. As a parent, as a coach, we all want the same thing. We just want the very best from our kids and the very best for our kids. And that's no different than no matter who we're playing. We want our kids to compete hard, play hard, and go out and enjoy this experience and grow from it also, which I think they will.
And we're excited about going. It's going to be a great ball game. Hopefully the Indians will bring that W home, and we'll bump up a couple of more spots in those power rankings. Those things, man, I don't know how you move around a lot in those things.
It's definitely higher level math. We've tried to figure it out. We're just going to believe what they tell us and go on and play who they tell us to play. But we're excited this year. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun Friday, and next Friday is going to be a lot of fun right here for senior night, and then it looks like no question. I think we're in a situation we're going to host a playoff game right here. That's going to be a lot of fun to host one. It's been a while since we've hosted a playoff game here in the swamp. So Thursday we got B team football at Ware County, 5 o'clock. So hopefully 5 o'clock Thursday at Ware County. So hopefully we'll have some parents go up there and a few other people and watch our younger guys get to go up there and compete against those guys.
All right. Anything else? Always the lockers. We had a tent set up. The quarterback club had the tent. How do we do on that? Did you ever?
I really don't know, but I'm sure. I'm sure we had a lot of people interested in what was going on up there, and like I said, after this week for senior night, we'll have more T-shirts, hats. We have even some old helmets that we put new spears on. It would look great on a mantle or somewhere in your house. We've got some old football jerseys of ours. Pick out your favorite number. Get an old jersey that we can't use no more. And like I said, we also have last year's Jacksonville Jaguars practice jerseys with the players' names on them. We're selling them. All that stuff's real affordable. And of course, we're still looking to hopefully grow the membership in the quarterback club. See Brian Hewling, see Marcy Turner down at State Farm Insurance, and those guys will set you up with that, and hopefully we can continue to grow it.
Anything else, Coach? Anything you want to hit on?
No, just Hope to have a great week and see a lot of people over in Homerville Friday.
All right, well, we'll see y'all Friday night. 7:30 kickoff over in Homerville, Georgia. We need everybody to make the trip over. Thursday, 5 o'clock, Ware County B-Team.
That's right.
And if you go to that one, you're in for a treat because the last one was a shootout right here in the swamp, so that'll be a good game.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you for watching the Coach Mack Show. We'll see you Thursday and Friday night. Have a great week, everybody.